don't know, I always think about it, like, what would I do? If I, because it is a serious issue for a lot of people, and it's like, what's within your control? What can you do? And I think, like, one of the only things you could do is, like, really think about or put time and effort into, like, thinking how you can increase your earning potential so that you're not as impacted as these cost increases in cost of living, and you can kind of, that gap between if your disposable income versus your expenses is big enough that you can, you know, if there is increases, you can stomach them and it doesn't impact your quality of life. Whether that's fair or not, whether that's the right solution, I don't know. But it's probably the only one that's within your control, isn't it? It's like,
To work harder.
not to work harder,
To
to invest in yourself in terms of, like, upskilling, learning new things so that you have the capability to earn more money. Not saying necessarily do 60 hours instead of 40,
right.
but, like, if you're on a salary where it's close to, like, you don't really have a much disposable income,
Yeah.
you're at risk, or you're, like, quite vulnerable to this type of thing. Cost of living increases, fuel prices going up, getting locked out the property market. Whereas if you can figure out how to increase your earning potential so you earn more for an hour of your work than you used to. You're not that you have to work longer hours, you're more skilled, you've got more knowledge. So you can earn, say, £20 an hour instead of £7 an hour, whatever the minimum wage is these days. Is that the best thing that you could do for yourself? Like, what are your options at the minute?
Yeah. That's a good point. That is what people should try to do. A lot of people don't have that mentality though,
I know, and
and they just get left behind.
yeah, you're
It's like, well, I should suffer because I'm not smart enough to like think in
Mm.
that sort of pragmatic approach.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the solution, but, like, if I had to give advice, if I was struggling, what advice would I give myself? And it's like,
It's
you're
Gary
not going to
Vee.
change the system, are you? Like, let's be honest. Better men than us have tried. Like, we don't even understand the system. How could
No.
we change it, or how could we propose a better solution? So, what's within your control? You know, you can set your ability to save is limited by how much you earn. So, if you're on minimum wage and your disposable income per month is very low, you can't really save. You're limited by how much you earn. So, is the best thing to try and figure out how to earn more per hour? I don't know. It's such a tough one.
It
It's
is.
probably horrible advice as well. Like, I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm already
I'm
working
doing everything I can. I'm tired. I feel drawn out. I got a family to look
to
after.
look
Got
after.
kids.
When am I supposed to find the time to learn new things? I get it.
And middle-aged people as well are in that sort of like limbo area where it's like, I have children,
Mm,
or my children are finally grown up. Now I've got adults to look at, parents to look
yeah.
after, because my parents are at the end of their life.
Mm,
So you're always like, you're never just free to do what you want.
I
Like
know.
kind of how me and you are right now. Do you know what I mean? We don't have anything to worry about really. Like I don't have children,
Yeah.
and my mum's doing all right.
No responsibility.
No responsibilities to that sense. So we're like in the best position. But we're anomalies to a degree. Only
Mm,
people our age are really like that. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
We're on the cusp of, like, just before we're about to have families.
Mhm.
No real, no significant responsibility.
Yeah.
A lot of discretionary time where we can kind of choose what we're doing with all our spare time. Mm.
So it's
So
hard.
what do you do then?
I don't know. So it's hard to be like a parent or like somebody of that age and say, right, well, I need to dedicate extra hours to looking into this, or how can I better myself? How can I do this? And you got kids screaming in the background, or you got them to go make dinner, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard. It's really hard.
No
Like,
doubt it's hard, but what else do you do?
well, yeah, no, you got to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's all part of that. Like all the ones that have made it, if you want to call it
Mm.
that, they
Yeah,
all
yeah.
give little speeches about having to suffer for a little bit before they got to where they were.
Mm. But it's such a tough one. Like, I always think how fortunate Megan and I are. Exactly what you said. No responsibility, no kids. We both have decent jobs where we're earning pretty good money. So this whole cost of living crisis hadn't really, like, hit home for us, in that it hasn't
Mm.
like, really impacted us. We can afford the additional electricity, the extra food we can afford, and we've still got enough money to live the life that we did before with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But that is such a luxury, and, like, you can take that so easily take that for granted.
Oh, mate, you
That a lot of people out there aren't in that position. Um,
Yeah, mate, I seen it firsthand a little bit, so